What's good, homies? How we doing? Welcome to the vlog. Today I got a videographer, Crooney's brother. We're headed off to the gym, taking some beta-alanine as well as some BCAAs. I had breakfast, as you guys saw. Gonna drink that on the way to the gym. We're hitting some legs today. We're gonna play some footy, and then we're gonna take you around Halmstad. Let's get it. So throughout this gym session, I'm going to talk to you guys and girls about how to develop power and speed as a footballer. This is a very talked about topic, argued about by many strength and conditioning coaches, but the moral of the story is power and speed in football is very, very important. It can be decisive in game-changing moments and can either win your team the game or lose your team the game. So as an individual, I strongly believe that you really need to invest in working on developing your power and speed as a footballer in and out of the gym. As I constantly talk about, you are in the gym to improve yourself on match day. You need to be ready to perform and be the best athlete and footballer possible when match day comes around to get your team the 3 points. You're not in the gym to look good on the beach, look good at weddings, look good at birthday parties. You're in the gym to become a better footballer and a better athlete. And once you get that in your head and you start to train like an athlete, you start to train explosively, you start to train fast with intense movements, you will then start to be on your way to gaining more power and speed. There are scientific formulas that say that you need to be able to put a lot of force into the ground to propel yourself forward in a proper sprinting position. Force equals mass times acceleration. So what that means is how hard can you put your foot into the ground? How hard can you drive off of that foot to propel yourself in a forward direction? And it may sound simple in a formula, but a lot of things go into it. And as you guys and girls should see throughout my social media, I try to take an athlete and build them up in a holistic approach. What are they doing on and off the pitch to improve themselves? So to put it simple, you need to be lifting heavy and light loads fast like an athlete. Whether the load is light or whether the load is heavy, you have to have that intention to lift that weight as fast as you possibly can. And obviously that depends on where you are in the season, what phase you're in, your overall gym experience, how you move with that weight. It all depends on the individual. And that's why I don't like to talk about this in a generic matter. And that's why I like to work with people individually. I like to work with clients one-on-one in a one-on-one setting so I can see what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, and how we can improve them as an athlete. So all of it comes into play. As you see here, I do a lot of mobility. I do a lot of joint mobilizations because the joints are very, very important for you to get into proper sprinting positions to reach your full power and speed as a footballer. So you need to lift, you need to jump, and you need to sprint. Those are the three things that are very, very important to build your power and speed as a footballer. Though a lot of other things come into play. You need to make sure you're mobile in proper positions, like I said. You need to make sure your nutrition is taken care of for the right energy systems. You need to make sure you're recovering properly. You need to make sure you're sleeping properly. All of these things come into play. So as you see here, I'm on a barbell front squat. I'm always trying to lift as heavy and explosively as I can through proper positions. As I always say, I don't care as much about the weight as I care about the quality and the form that you're doing the exercise. So whenever you're doing an exercise, don't care as much about the weight as you do about the quality. All right, so this movement's gonna be for the MCL, the inside part of the knee. What we're gonna do is we gotta first find posterior pelvic tilt. So he's locking it in like if I were to punch him or if he was gonna go take a poop, but he's not gonna let anything out in this gym. So he's finding that posterior pelvic tilt, gonna get into the knee, slight knee bend, drive that kneecap out, and then you're twisting over that knee, finding that posterior pelvic tilt. We're gonna hold it for a minute. And the most important thing of all that's under talked about is making sure that you stay on the pitch. I'm huge into performance optimization. That's what I do on the side from playing football. I help other athletes, I help my clients reach their ultimate potential on and off the pitch through proper programming. But my main job as their coach, and my main job for me as a footballer, is to remain on the pitch. If I'm not on the pitch, I can't actually improve myself as a footballer. So the main job of any strength and conditioning coach is to keep their clients, keep their athletes on the pitch to make sure they perform as best as possible. There's no point in trying to improve your performance and optimize your performance if you're getting injured. So the last thing you ever want to do is injure yourself in the gym. And that's why I always talk about and reiterate the importance of the quality of the movement. I've seen way too many footballers focus on the weight they're lifting without focusing on the intensity, the speed, and most importantly, the quality and the technique of their movement. If they're trying to do a heavy deadlift and they injure their lower back, or they're doing jump squats with too much weight and they injure their lower back, they injure any part of their spine, what's the point? So, most importantly, perfect your gym movements, lift like an athlete. Now let's go out and talk on the pitch. What's good, homies? Session is done. Quick gym session, 1 hour. Now we're headed over to the pitch for some field work. Let's get it. All right, homies, so we are headed off to the pitch, do some sprint work, some light ball work. Science says that you should always do sprint work before, but sometimes the situation proves differently. So it's a bit cold out here in Sweden. I want to get, as you saw, my hip warm up in, get some explosive movements in. Now the fast twitch muscle fibers are ready to go. We're going to start with some sprints, finish off with some technical work. That's about it. Let's get it. So after an excellent gym session like you saw, where we mobilized the knees, the hips, specific joints that we need for proper running mechanics and running technique, we head out to the pitch. As I said before, we lifted, we jumped. Now we're on to sprinting. As I always talk about, you have to make sure that you do a proper dynamic warm-up. For me, this was about 5 to 10 minutes because I just come off a gym session. I was pretty warm. But if you're doing this first, make sure you do at least a 10 to 15 minute proper dynamic warm-up where you're getting yourself ready for the session. When you get yourself ready for the session, you can perform your best. And when you perform your best, that's when we're going to get the most and the best adaptations. We're out there to improve. We're out there to adapt. So you need to put the time in to doing it. So now we started with the session. As you saw there, I started off with a backwards back pedal, a sprint, a short deceleration, and then a sprint again. Then I moved on to a slow jog, sprint, to a decel. So I'm working on all movements that are going to be involved on the pitch. This is one that I really love. No matter what position you're playing, when you're tracking back, whether it's in transition, whether it's in a counterattack, you're going to have to be looking at the ball the entire time. So you do that crossover, so you can see the ball the entire time. You can see the play adapting. And then if the ball either gets played over your head, gets played sideways, you're sprinting that other direction. So as you see, we do a couple of dynamic movements. Here I'm doing some shuffles, and then I'm going directly into a sprint. So really important is that transition from movement to quick sprint. And then as you see here, we get into some technical work. The goal is front spin every single time. You do this by keeping the toe down, the ankle locked, and hitting it with the lace part of your foot. Left foot, same thing. .90 with the leg. You gotta have some decent hip mobility for this. That's why I stress it. Feel it. Feel the ball. Love the ball. Enjoy it. Foot. combine everything. You'll see, you take a couple touches, you're popping it up pretty high, taking it down first with the right, with the left, with the right inside, left inside, with the left inside, the right thigh, with the left thigh, with the right chest, the right pecs are yours, and then with the left chest. And then with the head. And we finish off with 50 below knee juggles each foot. So as you guys can see, this isn't the best pitch, but as I always say, you need to make the most of everything. Look at this, there's bumps, there's crap all over, not good for work on the ground. So what did I do? Did some sprint session, got the ball in the air, worked on the aerial control, touch. I think we really have to start as a footballing community, not always looking for the perfect pitches. You're not always gonna have a perfect pitch, but what you are gonna have is your will to work, your body ready to go, a ball, a couple cones. You don't need cones. You take socks, take a water bottle. Stop complaining and start doing. And then when you do and when you execute consistently with as high quality as possible, you're gonna become better. And that's the key. I would rather you train on a pitch like this, maybe if this is all you could find, 5-6 days per week in the off season, yeah, if you're not training with a team, rather than once or twice per week when you could get on a good pitch. So obviously most important thing on these type of pitches, get a good warm-up in, and then you can have a great session. We'll see you guys at lunch. Little lunch with the homies. Crooney only hits the exclusive spots, bro.
Discipline equals freedom.
Whatever.
And I'm thinking for a while.
Crooney, who's gonna carry the boats? We got an ice bath, 2 ice baths, sauna, 102 degrees Celsius. It's a vibe. What do you guys have for pre-workout? Lollipops? What's going on here? What do you say about this, Crooney?
Why are they so nervous? Bella, say something funny.
Chef Crooney on the damn beat, son.
Quality Entrecote. Academy. Shout out to them.
Tings,
shout out to Joe
birds.
Rogan. Shout out to Goggins.
Get mauling.
Tell the audience, salad is super important.
Molly. Chef Crooney on the mall.
Monsters.
This is what we call mall.
Munch.
Bella, what are your last words to the vlog?
Eat candy.
Huh?
Eat candy, live life.
Eat candy.
No veggies? Come on now. Ellie?
Come on, Bella. Eat candy, live life.
Oh god.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. You know,
Surrounded by these two, huh?
I want to see these kids eat more veggies, but I don't know what to do anymore. You know, I'm giving up.
Alright, big homies, thank you so much for tuning into the video. I really appreciate your support on every piece of content I put out. I'm quite tired. It's late over here. As you see, I'm in bed. I got my blue light blocking glasses on. Want to try to block that blue light out as much as possible. Please drop a like on this video. Please hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what else you would love to see from me on YouTube. You know I'm going hard. Let's have a good rest of the week. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned. Deuces.